Hey traders, it's stock overview time. In this video, I'm going to analyze and view Apple. I think a lot of people like Apple. I like apples. You like apples? Man, I'm losing it. Some people think I haven't got it. Before I start this video, guys, do not place a trade based on this video. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, right? No one does. The purpose of this video is me just to share with you what I'm seeing happening right now in Apple. And what Apple is actually telling us and what's actually going on through there. All right, guys. So just make sure that you understand that trading is risky and it does cause substantial financial loss. Make sure that when you have a really high probability trading system and you understand your trading system, you take only that system every single time before you trade. All right. Don't take a trade based on this video. All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, before I start, guys, first link in the description if you want to get access to my trading course. First link in the description. Also, if you want to get my coaching as well too, again, first link in description. Let's get straight into Apple. Now, let's go to Apple. Let's go to Apple weekly chart first. Let me just share with you what I'm seeing here on Apple as well too. On Apple first thing here. So, what do we see here? We see that this market is continuing to rally up from there. And you can see how we've got this overall sort of channel happening right now. This overall, and what are we doing right now? We're setting up our parameters, right? Parameters, or basically, yeah, just basically parameters in the market. So what are the parameters? The parameters are like, this is where the market has really respected these levels in the past. So somewhere around that there, and then maybe even if we have, we definitely have a lot going up through there as well, right? So we definitely have a lot going through there. And we definitely have a lot of support and resistance going on through there right now. So let me just take this off this trend line here, because there's no real reason to have that there. And as we can see right now, as you can see right now, we're definitely moving up, high, come down, broke a low, and come down and make a high. Now, the first thing I do say by looking at the weekly chart is this: we are just going sideways, right? You can see how we're stuck between the last few weeks of just going sideways, aren't we? Just going sideways. And then now what we want to do, so now if we start to break down, guys, and especially if we start to break down from this high point through here, this is likely to be a top in Apple, and we're likely to start rolling over. All right, so that's the first thing I do say. No one knows what's going to happen, but I'm saying if this happens, if we start to get a down week, like maybe this week or maybe even next week, while going sideways through here, this here, that tells me this here was a false breakout to get people long, and then now the rally down. And generally speaking, when you're looking at a weekly chart, when that happens, generally speaking, especially after such a major high, then this is likely to be a top for some time. Now, let's go have a look at the daily chart here, so we can see what's happening here on the weekly chart. But now let's go have a look on the daily chart. And what do we see here on the daily chart? Pretty much the same thing, right? But you can see. And again, what you want to do, right? You want to look at who's in control of the market. So who's in control? So let's go with. So let's go say with. I'm talking to myself here. So let's go here, right? So we have a low, we have a higher low. We had this high here, right? And then the market ran up, made this sort of high here. But I'd just say, you know what? We'd say that's the. So it's made a higher high. This now made a what? A higher low. Made a slight higher high, made an equal low, made a slight higher high, and actually probably made an equal low as well too, maybe even a lower low. This is definitely a slight lower low here, and probably even an equal low through there. So right now we see on the weekly chart on Apple that we're starting to get a very major rejection at these points. All right, because remember that's the weekly trend line there. This big blue line through there, that's that weekly trend line. Let me just do this here. That's that weekly trend line through there, isn't it? So, but what is actually happening right now on Apple stock? So right now we have an uptrend, but now we have a potential where it could roll over. But now, right now, as we speak, who is in control? Remember two things you always want to ask yourself. Trade with the trend, which right now the trend is up on Apple. Okay, cool. And also you want to trade with who's in control. Now, who's in control of Apple right now as we speak? No one, right? Because remember, when the buyers are in control, we have higher highs and higher lows. When sellers are in control, we have lower highs and lower lows. When we start to get what we're getting right now, which is like we had a higher high, higher low, ran up, made a high, made a higher low, made a slight higher high, came down through there, came up and came down through there. So who's in control of Apple right now? No one, right? Buyers and sellers, there's no one really in control when it comes to this, buyers and sellers. So what you want to do, right? What you want to look at this here is you want to say, okay, there's no one really in control of this stock right now. So therefore, there's again, the first thing is one, you want to trade with the trend. What does the weekly chart say? The weekly chart says up. So we want to trade with that. Secondly, what you want to do for probability is we want to trade with who's in control. And that's when you go to the daily chart. And if you can start to trade with who's in control, meaning if the trend is up, and then now who's in control, and we clearly see high peaks, high troughs, we just increase our probability tenfold. But if we see the trends up, but then we go to the daily chart and we see who's in control and no one, because there's no really higher highs, higher lows, it's more like sideways. Well, therefore, it's just going through a resting phase. And this is where you can see this is where traders get very, very, very big chewed up, very, very, very big chewed up. That's grammar for you right there. That's the grammar shit right there. Chewed up. Very, very, very chewed up. And why do I say that? It's look at this here, right? Look at this here. It's like the market breaks up. The market's breaking up. People go long. Bam! Goes down. Oh, look, going short now. Oh, no, we're going up. Oh, no, we're not. We're going short now. Oh, no, we're not. We're going up, right? This is where people get chewed up big, big, big time. I stay away from this. Again, I'm always asking myself, one, where is the trend? Cool. I want to trade with the 10. Secondly, I want to see someone that's clearly in control. And when you get in this sort of action, just stay away from it. So there we go, guys. Hope you guys learned something as well too when it comes to this. Apply this analysis to your own trading, to your own charts. And you can when you start to trade, you can start to identify a lot more high probability setups in your own trading.